Hey, it's Professor Davis again. Just wanted to take a minute in this video, in the second part of our orientation, to talk about learning styles and to talk about different ways you might want to approach learning the material for statistics online. So let me present three ways to do it. First, let's go to our ebook and take a look at what kind of resources we have for each section. So I'll just go into chapter 2 here. I know that's not where you're starting, but that really doesn't matter. And I'll go to section 2, frequency distributions, and notice what we have in each section of our textbook here. First, we have a video presentation. I'll show you a little bit of that in just a minute. And then we have the multimedia textbook section. And so let me show you what that looks like quick here. There it is. And all you have to do is to click on that link, and then this ebook comes up. And to turn from page to page, there's a little right arrow, a little right triangle that shows you to go to the next page. And it's really just the page that you would see in a traditional textbook, but it does have some enhancements. For example, you'll see this little video icon, and this icon is a section of that video lecture that I showed you that just pertains to one part of a section. So if you're stuck on simply one part of a section that might be easy to you, or the rest of the section is easy, you can simply go to those video icons. And then another important thing to look at are some of the practice problems they have here, and they're called You Try It. So you can look up an example, and here's an example involving different types of distributions, and so you can look over the example and then try one yourself. And let me just show you what happens here. This brings up one of those tracked exercise sets. Now when I say tracked, that doesn't mean tracked by me, that means tracked by you, where you can follow your progress throughout the chapter. So that's a good way to attack some of the material in each section. So again, I just wanted to start out and show you some different learning styles. The first way would be what I call the lecture style, the classroom style, so to speak. So to do that, what you'd want to do is to first watch the video presentation for a section. So let me load that up. You can watch a little bit of that.
Hi, I am Dr. Jackie White from St. Leo University, and in this lesson we will look at how to summarize data in frequency tables.
Now these video lectures have been very well planned out and rehearsed, and what they do is they take basically what you learn in a 50-minute lecture and crunch it down to about 20 minutes. So it's a very efficient way to learn. So you can go fairly quickly if you just kind of do that. So what you want to do is to watch the video lecture, sit down and take notes, take handwritten notes, and then when you're done with that, simply read the ebook, corresponding ebook section for that section that you're studying, and then go to the multimedia exercise set. Let me show you that real quick. And that is simply the exercises that you have in the book. So what you'd want to do is to practice those exercises, and I mentioned before there is this list of homework to practice exercises. I've gone through and looked at each exercise and picked out the best ones that fit our course curriculum. Those are all listed here. So you'd want to practice those. That's from that list of the multimedia exercise sets that I showed you just now. So you'd want to practice those. Sit down with a piece of paper and a pencil. That is certainly the best way to get prepared for the exams, is to do it with pencil and paper. So that's a great way to learn, very solid way to learn. And I guess a couple of, like a natural question would be, how do you check your answers like you would in the back of a book? Well, I can show you two ways to do that. First, if you look in the appendix, you can look in Appendix D, and that has the answers. That's kind of like the back of the book answers in Appendix D. and that's in the ebook section. The other way to do it, and sometimes some problems you don't even know how to, you might not know how to start, or you might get to some point where you simply don't know what to do next. The best way to handle that is to go to Tools for Success, and then notice the very first link is the Student Solutions Manual. This has detailed, worked out solutions for every odd numbered exercise set, and all of the exercises that I have assigned for practice are odd ones. So if you get stuck, you can always go to that. That's in the Tools for Success area. Now another thing, since I'm right here right now, a couple other things real quick. There's this graphing calculator tutorial, very helpful. Now I have my own StatCast, screencast that you'll see a little bit later as we get into the course more, and those will help you using the graphing calculator. Here's another good way to do it, this graphing calculator tutorial. And one other thing, we don't use any kind of software in the class, any kind of statistics software, because frankly our graphing calculator does a better job of the statistics we have for the course. But there is this StatDisk program, and you can go ahead and download that, and it works very easy. It's very easy to use. It's kind of like a spreadsheet with enhancements for statistics. So I would urge you to go ahead and download that. Even though we won't use it for the course, you might use it in the future with some of your if you do research and that kind of thing. So that was the first style of lecture learning style I wanted to talk about. I call that the classroom style. The second style is what I'll call the exercise style. So what you want to do there, and this is kind of a brute force way to do things, I guess, is to simply go through and look at the assigned exercises from the list of practice exercises, and then take a look and see what you're being asked, and then go back and take a look in the book and see how to do each of these problems. So you don't have to read the entire section. You can just read the sections that pertained to the exercises that are assigned. So that might be a way to save a little bit of time using an exercise style, where you kind of base your whole knowledge learning upon completing these exercises. And then finally, the third learning style is what I call the learning objective style. And to do that, what you'd want to do is to go in the announcements area, the cover page of the class website, so to speak, and then look at these topics checklists. These are screencasts that I've made, and that tell you exactly what to look for in each section. Now, in the first topics checklist, I kind of tell you how you can, different ways you can take advantage of these screencasts. Certainly one way is to kind of write down what objectives you need to learn and identify those in each section in the ebook, and then go ahead and do the corresponding exercises. Now this is something I'm doing for your class that I haven't done before, is put this list of supplemental videos every week. And so there'll be a list of these topics checklists, and then some of these graphing calculator screencasts. I call them StatCasts, and they're over here. And they'll help you with a lot of the statistics we do, in particular in the second half of the course when we study inferential statistics. But they're also good to do descriptive statistics, and also great for probability as well. So you'll see how those are used in those topics for sure. So that's 3 learning styles you might want to take advantage of. Now, one last thing. A lot of students ask me, how much time should I devote to this course? Keep in mind, if when I teach this course in the summer in a 5-week style, we meet 4 times a week for 2 hours and 40 minutes each class session. And plus, that's without homework, so think of adding another hour on that. So that's probably would be a good guideline for you. Maybe 3.5 hours, 4 days a week to devote to the course, and then I think you could have enough time set aside to learn all the material. So I just wanted to talk about that. That completes our orientation, so you're ready now to get started on your coursework.